In today's video, we're going to check out the changes and the improvements that OnePlus has made to OxygenOS. And actually, the latest edition of it is OxygenOS 15. And that's going to be running on top of Android 15. And of course, powering our OnePlus 12, since that's the first device that received the beta. In today's video, we're going to check out all of the new features, the AI functionalities, the new animation functionalities that we have in here, as well as some of the new hidden features. This is TK. Let's check them out and see how they're improving our OnePlus 12 experience. Like and subscribe, and make sure you hit that bell icon so that you're always notified to whenever we have new videos for you on the channel. Now, again, this is part of OxygenOS 15 that was pushed out to my device. This is a beta version currently, so some of the things may not work 100%, but we have a lot of new things to cover. So some of the main changes that you'll notice are aesthetical changes. First and foremost will be here. If I'm changing the basically the toggle here with the alert slider, you'll notice that the notification now pops up at the top around the actual camera. It's not an interactable function, but it's something that's present in there. Also, if you jump into the camera and let's say you go into the timer and you start a timer, close it up, the timer sits there and actually it's being used as more of a functional area as opposed to just sitting there and where it is. And you can of course hear that you can interact with and then turn off the timer. Overall, when we're looking at it, is the engine, the animation speed that we have in here is quite a bit faster than what we've had before. I'm talking about basically just if you love speed, if you love what OnePlus used to do with OxygenOS in the past, this takes it to the next level. You can customize the launcher experience the same way we had before. You have wallpapers, icon, widgets, layouts, transition, and under more you have a few additional options in here, of course, as you can see. Of course, the home screen, the input, the lock screen layout, the double tap to wake, again changing the swipe down from search directly into actually being the notification panel. And of course, under advanced materials, you can turn on the advanced materials here to turn on the customization in there. It's off by default. Animation effect, you can actually change it to go basically from medium to fast. I keep it on fast, but it's even faster than what we've had it in the past. So that's one of the biggest things. Of course, lock screen shortcuts, you can customize them, device control, QR code scanner, customize the information there, manage application, just go in there from recent task, lock in different application in there, and you can also jump into simple mode from there. Other than that, it's pretty straightforward, and I think probably one of the other things that you're probably really happy to see is that we now finally have Circle to Search. Circle to Search is now supported directly into the UI. You're able to initiate it even if when you're in gestures, press and hold, and then you can use it for either image search, translations, whatever you need to basically use Circle to Search. It's now finally permeating to other devices. As well as the fact that Gemini is going to be powering this device, and we also have access to Gemini Live here. We're going to go ahead and end this one, but you're able to access it directly by just swiping down from the corner, activating it, and using it there. A lot of the functionalities are improving, and I'm loving the fact that a lot of the actual old Google Assistant functionalities are just being embedded into Gemini, making it a lot more functional, especially for automation and control functionalities that we loved in the Google Assistant. Now, we're going to do a couple more things before we jump into all of the new AI features that we have in there. One of them that I really like is the ability of actually sharing content with an iPhone. This is true. This is something that they've incorporated in here with a functional option. You'll notice that we have quick share, and we also say share with iPhone. I'm going to go ahead and click this. I'm going to give it a second to come up, and on an iPhone or on your basically your favorite iOS device, you go into the App Store and you just need to download the O+ Connect application. Turn that on, and you'll notice here iPhone 15 Pro. I'll recognize it here. I'm going to click it, give it a second to transfer. I'm going to say accept. It's going to join over a Wi-Fi connection. So you'll notice here, O+ Connect wants to join the Wi-Fi network, OnePlus. I'll say join. And this is how it's transferring the data from one device to the other. I'll go ahead and click OK on this point. It does basically a Wi-Fi direct connection. You'll see here it says connecting. And then it'll transfer the content directly in its original form from one side straight to the left. And once we receive the image, we'll get the exact image in its fullest resolution on an iPhone. So you no longer have an issue sharing content with your friends that have iPhones and that obviously don't have a way of being able to use that. As you can see here, we have the same image posted directly from one device to the other. The brightness is a little bit off on this side. And this just makes our life a lot easier to transfer our high quality images and videos to an iOS device. One of the other improvements that they've done in here is essentially the ability of, let's go ahead and jump into split screen real quick. I'm going to go open up two applications. And one of the big nice things that they've done here, you'll notice, first and foremost, we have the ability of obviously swapping sides. This is something that we've seen in the past. Absolutely. We're also able to save this as a pop-up app, so you can actually save it as a combination. But we also have the ability of expanding the bottom area. So you notice what it did here. Essentially, it's providing me a full screen experience on both configurations. So if I can go ahead and click here, you notice I can open up the Google Play Store entirely. I can go back and say shrink. It brings it down into the configuration that I wanted. I can do switch apps, and I can actually just change the application. Let's go, we're going to switch it over with clock. Now it switches it to another application. I'm still running in the configuration that I had before, and I'm also able to basically, if I'm done with this, I can just go ahead and bring it down, swipe it down to the bottom, and close it out. So multitasking is also a little bit better and a lot more functional for us, and it gives us the ability of just customizing the entire experience here. The last thing we're going to talk about is our themes, and this is one of the nice things that they've done. They've added actually a new function called One Take, and it allows us to actually customize or basically showcase a functional option. Let's say we take an image. This is obviously Piccolo from the Dragon Ball movie that came out not that long ago, and what I liked about it is it customizes the always on display, the lock screen, as well as the wallpaper. So I'm going to go ahead and say apply, and I'm going to give it a second to finish. You'll notice it changes it there. I'm going to lock the device, it goes into the always on display. When I unlock the display, it opens up and zooms into it. And when I just unlock the device entirely, it just continues that entire story. So that one image, and by the way, they recommend you using portrait images, works perfectly. Let's say if you have your pets or anything like that. Let's go ahead and swipe down here on the top right. They have a lot of other themes in there that you can customize under themes and customization. So when there are more, you can go in there. And this is essentially what they were recommending here. Like you can get your cat. You can basically change the depth information, making it pop up a little bit more, the wallpaper, and of course the lock screen. Just it makes things a lot easier and more customizable and very unique for us, at least with the entire UI that we have in here. Most of the AI functionalities that they've added in here are directly into the gallery app. You go in there, you hit edit. There's a new AI feature here on the AI editor, and we have an AI boost detail, of course an AI eraser, an AI unblur, and of course an AI reflection remover. This is great for whenever you're taking images or pictures through glass, and it'll reduce the reflection, providing you a much clearer image. Of course, AI unblur, this is in case you took a picture that's slightly blurry, and of course AI eraser just removes things in the behind you, as you can imagine, and it does actually a really decent job. The AI detail boost provides us a way of basically sharpening the image a little bit over when it's typically either fuzzy or maybe out of focus, and it provides us a little bit better of an experience as opposed to just having to basically throw that image away. I think it has a lot easier job doing things with objects. Again, it didn't have a good job with that one, but in the overall experience here, the image itself is a little bit better, and it's really going to help you provide a better experience on the go. When you're taking those images and there's typically 1,000 people behind you or something, you can actually customize that experience there. Very, very nice. Now, the next couple of things are actually going to be really nice and very functional. First and foremost is the ability of helping us reply to text messages. If this is obviously an automated message sent directly for my provider here. But let's say I want to reply to it, but I don't really want to bother with it. So I can swipe up from the top here. When we see the smart function, we're going to go ahead and select AI reply. Now, AI reply analyzes the message that was received and gives us an automated or somewhat of an AI generated function. So obviously, thank you for letting me know. I will check my provider's website. Oh, great. There's a couple of other options in here. What I like about it is you can change the tone of the actual reply. You can go a little bit more formal, a little bit more polite. Obviously, we don't reply to everybody the same way. Very nice, very simple. It automatically comes off whenever there is an actual response in here. So if you get an email, you can also use it, and it becomes a nice little functional option at the top. Now, we're going to go into the Notes app. Actually, the Note application did receive somewhat of an uplift. I ran this yesterday where I gave, basically I recorded an audio. This was basically a 34-second audio clip explaining the process of shooting a video, so video creation process. The AI function gave me the ability of actually not only organizing it, rewriting it, but also editing it in a format that made more sense. Of course, you start recording the audio. I need to remember today that I need to pick up some milk. I need to pick up some fresh fruit, of course, and some cereal. Not to forget some cat food, of course, since the cats need to eat. And then, of course, make sure on the way back to charge up my car. Very simple, very straightforward. It transcribed all of the information in here. Use cleanup in here. I'm going to go ahead and turn it on. Now, cleanup takes my information here and tries to give me a better version of what I wrote. So an example would be here. It's analyzing it and kind of going through what information that was actually mentioned in there. And it's going to try to generate an actually better version of it before giving me the other option. So today I need to remember to pick up milk, fresh fruit, cereal, and cat food. I also need to charge up my car on the way back. Much smaller, much more efficient. I'll go ahead and say replace, and that becomes my new actual experience in there. If I go in there, and I'll actually just say hit the AI function, and I'm going to go ahead and say format. I'll give it a second. It's going to take this and try to give me more of a table format that we had before. So to do, milk, fruit, cereal, cat food, charge car, replace. Bam, that's my list, and this is exactly what I wanted. Obviously, there's a couple of steps going in there. You could go to the format right away. You can obviously the improvement functionalities that you have in there. And of course, on the side, you still have the AI writer in case you need to have access to it. Now, let's say you're working in split screen and you're working on a document in Google Docs and you have your gallery application. Of course, you can open it up. And let's say you like this image and you want to add that to the document. Press and hold, remove the subject, and then just basically either add it directly into the file doc or directly into the actual document itself. It's much easier, very straightforward. straightforward, and you can actually customize the experience by just moving and adding different items in there. This was actually a very nice bowl of ramen that I had recently, but the experience here is very, very nice and very useful. You can expand this in here a little bit more to be able to see what you're looking in there, shrink it back in, as again, as I mentioned to you guys, and then when you're done, just go ahead and reduce it, bring it down. All of this is really done to make our lives much easier. I'm pretty sure the first question that's going to come to your mind right now is, when am I going to get OxygenOS 15 on my device? At this time, they haven't released an update list available I'm able to share with you guys. But if I do check that out and I find it, I'll make sure to add a link for you guys in the description below. But if you don't look for that, and if you don't find it there, the community page for OnePlus is obviously always going to be the best place to be able to sign up for any betas, as well as their Twitter account or their social accounts, as they typically share those plans when they're starting to roll out to devices, specifically other than the OnePlus 12 at this point. It runs really nice. From the first update to the second one that I received on the unit itself, it actually improved quite a bit. Battery drain did actually stop. Overall, it's a good daily driver. Camera works really good. Images look really nice. A lot of the AI functionalities work, but it's kind of a hit and miss right now, and I feel like there's a little bit more fine-tuning that needs to be done. Again, pre-release software, beta, it's expected to be this way, but the nice thing is that we're able to see what they're going to do with OxygenOS 15 and all of the functional options that they've added. And of course, most of this right now is currently cloud-based. There's a few options that are basically device-based, so just be aware, as long as you have a good internet connection, a lot of these functionalities work great. Android 15 overall right now hopefully will be coming out soon, as far as basically OxygenOS 15 full version. I don't have a plan for that yet, but I'm excited to be able to see what they're doing, and I'm excited to see obviously I would say a little bit of a glimpse of what we're going to be getting with the next version of the next release of the OnePlus series, the OnePlus 13 that we're going to get, as I imagine it will launch with Android 15 and OxygenOS 15 out of the box basically. This one is an update, and the OnePlus 12 is working great. So very happy to see what they're doing. Thanks to OnePlus for allowing me to check out the early access to the beta. And of course, let me know in the comments below, what are the things that you're interested the most about. This is TK. Thank you very much for the support. I'll see you in the next video.